Rifftrax. Never pick tracks when the riffs are missing. Why you always gotta pick Rifftrax? It's your lucky day, it's time for Rifftrax.
Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. And welcome to episode 31 of Every Rifftrax Short Reviewed, where I take 5 Rifftrax shorts in chronological order, review them, and give them a rating between 1 and 5, with the points being good, great, awesome, fantastic, and spectacular, because I don't think a bad Rifftrax short exists. After a few crazy weeks, I'm very ready to get back into the swing of things on this channel with another episode of one of my favorite series. So let's dive right into episode 31 of Every Rifftrax Short Reviewed. Number 151, Feelings, I'm Feeling Alone, from September 6th, 2011.
Feelings? To a Swedish farmer? This is a horror movie.
I think we all had moments growing up where we felt alone and down in the dumps, but our own childhood melancholiness is nothing compared to these kids. Here we have a depressingly musical short with 4 kids and the various troubles they're each going through, and if you have any antidepressants, it might be a good time to bring them out.
Churchill Films. Seriously, this really is our logo. Really.
Everybody has feelings every day.
No, not everyone. Not the McDonald's counter worker who refused to give me my sausage biscuit with egg and cheese 1 minute after the cutoff time. She clearly has no feelings.
Very special, for there are happy times and sad times.
And to think this thing had a $12 million budget.
My daddy's very angry.
I'm angry.
I came in late. If he would only yell out loud whenever he gets mad, but he just sits
I
and
will
stares
end
at
you.
me. My daddy has a brand new job, so he moved to this big town. I don't know the kids here, I feel lonely and low down.
Maybe my constant singing is what drives the kids away. But I love songs, so with their blood I will now make them pay.
Having a hard time making friends? Consider staring at people through narrowed eyes while you lurk just 3 feet away.
This parade of misery continues for almost 7 minutes before revealing the big Shyamalan twist of an ending. That twist being that there is no ending. Nope, all we get is a short recap of the scarred children and the credits just roll, because what kid doesn't want to go to school only to see an emotionally manipulative short that teaches them nothing and offers no help in solving their emotional issues?
That's all I want you to do. I don't ask you to do a lot of things, but you lie in bed all day watching this stupid television.
Oh, I hate it when my toy cars fight.
Mommy and Daddy are yelling, I can hear them when they fight.
Ah, great! Now the boy is singing again! You happy?
How long does it take you to water the plants? 10 minutes?
Takes me half an hour a day.
Watering the plants takes half an hour? They live in a rainforest cafe?
I'm with Dad on this one.
She used to be my closest friend. We shared secrets every day.
Like about that liquor store we robbed one rainy night in May.
That's it? No suggestions? No hope?
Life is an abyss. Scream into it and know that you are alone. I'm Werner Herzog, and this has been Feelings. I'm feeling alone.
A short that teaches kids that life is nothing but a lonely disappointment. This one gets a 4 out of 5.
Hey, Red Donkey.
They still love me.
Hey,
I
Bullfrog.
hope they don't
Hey,
stay
Timmy,
mad.
still haunted by the ghosts of your dead parents?
Yeah.
It makes
You gotta learn to let it go, Timmy! Ribbit!
Yeehaw.
much fun.
Number 152, Setting Up a Room, from September 9th, 2011.
Drawer, cabinet, that's bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, ironing board. Oh, that's wonderful.
What the hell is going on?
With a title as vague as Setting Up a Room, it's safe to say we're in for an interesting riff, to say the least. Here we have 2 kindergarten teachers setting up their classroom for the new school year. It would probably be a decent bet that a short like this would only be like, 5 to 7 minutes tops, right? Would you believe that this useless exercise in burning time and money is 27 flipping minutes long? And all 27 of those minutes are focused on these 2 bland, seemingly not too bright women wandering around vacantly and discussing all the potential this apparently infinitely spacious room has. And these 2 obviously have no business teaching the youth of our nation, as they literally have to sketch out a plan to design a doggone kindergarten classroom. It doesn't seem to be any bigger or more complicated than any other classroom in the world, but what are workplace efficiency and appropriate time management good for anyway?
This is a room for learning.
Learning all the words to I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
It's an evil place.
Stay open, just stay... to hell with it. Gonna be a whale of a year, kids.
Well, at least it's not setting up the room.
Oh, hi, children. I'm your substitute teacher. Let's go to recess. Come on, let's go.
Mommy!
Wouldn't you like to hang up your coat? Sure. There's only one hanger. Do you mind?
No, that's okay.
Do you mind throwing it on the floor, I was going to say.
It looks kind of rain-spotted right now, but when that's done, I think it'll look very, very good.
They are aware that there's a camera and that it's on, right?
You take into account the location of the fixed properties of the room.
AKA where all the crap is.
So here's a metal mirror.
These are two aliens trying to act human, right?
Mirror.
This is where they kept their blocks.
Who used to be in this room and why is nobody concerned that they suddenly vanished?
Storage bins.
They're not really going to show them drawing a floor plan, are they?
Just give in to the madness, Kevin. Give in.
Water fountain.
Go to hell, complete sentences. We're setting up a room!
Now, let's see.
Yes!
The cubbies.
The cubbies, you glorious, insane bitch!
Wish we did. And that leaves a nice, big, open space for the children to move about in.
Whenever we unchain them.
Now, let's see how our plan works.
Their plan was a disaster.
The longer this thing goes on, the more ridiculous it gets. The teacher's conversations and stilted acting are so bad, and it's pretty clear that this should have been one of those talking directly to the audience shorts, instead of a, let's try to make this ridiculously mundane and awkward task seem realistic and natural by giving it a quote-unquote storyline. And they just continue pushing beige-colored cabinets toward beige-colored walls for what seems like an eternity. A poor narrator attempts to explain the women's madness, but to no avail. Not even the greatest psychologists of our time could possibly explain what these teachers are thinking and why this short exists.
Oh, here are the block accessories.
Oh, good.
That just made my whole year.
Creating 2 rooms in housekeeping gives a realistic setting to the children's dramatic play.
Death of a salesman.
And as planned, the backs of the cabinets form a wall for the house. And the shelves, a storage space for table games.
Yes, as planned, as if that plan could somehow have gone wrong.
I tried to move the bookcase and it suddenly evaporated into a poisonous mist.
I turned one to form a wall and the Germans came out of nowhere in a blitzkrieg. No survivors, man!
With storage space beneath for puppets and other supplementary language materials.
So Jeff Dunham's act is based around supplementary language materials?
Well, looks like. Now I'll put the mirror back here so that it can be used with dressing.
Dressing? That implies undressing, right? This thing is starting to make me uneasy.
I hadn't noticed this pegboard.
Just try to come up with a more boring sentence.
For storing the ironing board, we'll have to put together later on.
Okay.
Later on. Oh, I pray we're all dead before then.
We'll have plenty this year.
Cut! The cameraman just sneezed. What? Let's
Bench
keep
out.
rolling?
What?
Pull, you push.
Let me make sure this door opens.
Oh, God, will it? Oh, God.
Now, let's get...
You are ready to arrange the work and play materials.
I am? Crap, am I supposed to be setting up a room right now?
I guess.
Nah.
Blocks are stored.
Would you stop showing a woman putting away blocks?
I think so. We can do it now, and if it gets in our way, we can take it out and store the clay in buckets afterward.
Fine.
In fact, the more I think about it, all these decisions could easily be undone later if needed, and maybe this really doesn't require the planning level of the Normandy invasion.
It goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway, that this riff is an absolute gem. The short is insane in its inaneness, and the jokes are as funny as ever, and this truly must be seen to be believed. I've got to give it a 5 out of 5.
Well...
Camera's still on, so I guess we better keep going.
The largest area.
Number 153, Join Hands, Let Go, from September 13th, 2011.
I see where this is going. These are like Children of the Corn-type kids, and their singing eventually drives the adults into madness and gruesome acts of suicide.
Wow. Kind of a departure for Encyclopedia Britannica.
Where setting up a room is a unique craziness that's based in our reality, Join Hands, Let Go is just utter insanity straight from the underworld. After a really trippy countdown, which was only a grim peek into the madness yet to come, we cut to several kids skipping along and singing a song about joining hands while they do so. While this may sound innocent enough, the imagery and random vignettes that accompany this song say otherwise.
Get! Demons! Oh, what's going on? Oh, Encyclopedia Britannica. So yes, demons!
Join hands, come running, join hands.
Singing or barely controlled full voice shrieking?
I cannot tell you how many dates I got turned down for in high school well dressed like that.
Hey, whatever weirdness you're into, that's your business. Just leave the children out of it.
Uh-oh, shake hands with danger.
The child demons are really letting this one play out, probably for maximum suffering.
Your labor has been in vain, pitiful earth creature. We'll collapse your structures and cause untold suffering. Our magical powers are from the demonic. If you oppose us, down you go!
The children continue prancing around, singing their destructive tune as the world itself seems to crash in on any and all adults around them, regardless of who they are or what they're doing. For such a random and meaningless concept, this is actually kind of unsettling, and should prove to Darren Aronofsky and all the like that one doesn't need to be pretentious and awful in order to freak out an audience.
Why are they gathering around Aragorn's mom?
The blade that was broken will be reforged.
Those darn kids empty the ketchup! Just kidding, none of these events are connected.
They're playing my favorite childhood game. Run around randomly bumping into each other and embrace the chaos that is life.
Why should kids have all the fun? Let's play now.
I didn't see you over there.
Wow.
That's my elbow. Ow, my head. Oh, that was my
Sorry.
eye. Oh, sorry.
And now for a wacky screw-up involving that mustache and an unstoppable grease fire.
Mr. Director, this part would be easier if we could stop joining hands and, let go.
Nah, keep romping.
But I think I'm gonna fall, and Mom says I've got delicate bones.
And I'm a bleeder.
That's it, nobody gets donuts.
Ahoy there, matey!
Huh, guess the Scotsman I locked in this trunk was still alive after all. Oh well.
There is nothing educational whatsoever in this creepy Encyclopedia Britannica escapade, and for those keeping score at home, we're now 3 for 3 today in shorts that seem to have no conceivable reason for existing, and this one gets a 4.5 out of 5.
Madness, madness, we're bringing madness. Order is ruined, chaos is reigning. The world you once knew is being destroyed. There is no God, there is only us.
Number 154, The Creeps Machine from September 16th, 2011.
What's this?
A Greater Plains antelope?
Jazz session great Ron Carter?
80s board game Mall Madness?
The town of Chagrin Falls, Ohio?
The guy who did the voice of Montana Max on Tiny Toons?
Oh, I bet it's that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
A perfect entry for this time of year. The Creeps Machine features this bizarre little creation, which looks like a prop from the first season of The Muppet Show, which claims to be full of terrifying things of all sorts. But after all the things that we've witnessed today, it seems to be a little late to the whole weirding out the audience in any way possible party.
Do you ever get scared?
Sounds like me when I'm interviewing a babysitter.
Do you ever get the creeps?
Yes, I've ridden a Greyhound bus before.
Are you afraid of monsters?
Am I? That movie Monsters, Inc.? Terrifying!
Houses? Inside is everything that makes us scared.
There's a Lady Elaine Fairchild
You are
puppet in there.
brave.
Go away!
Is anybody scared of old Bobo?
Yes!
Utterly terrified!
Or was it the surprise that scared us?
No, it was definitely old Bobo.
There are all kinds. What makes a haunted house?
Bats?
Creaky stairs?
Comcast Internet Service.
From the dark of the night to a hideous clown puppet, the narrator goes through all the various things that supposedly keep children up at night. And finally, the secret of the Creeps Machine is revealed. It turns out that it's our own imaginations that fuel the machine. I'm gonna call the narrator out on this, though, as I'm pretty sure even the lamest of human imaginations could come up with creepier images than this machine did, including the imaginations behind all the other shorts we've seen today.
Ooh, I had shudders that did that before. It was terrifying. Lying in bed, knowing that any minute your wife could tell you to go fix it for the love of God. I've asked you a dozen times already. Wolverine with a very gradual snicked there.
They thought the house was haunted.
Based on one menacing claw. Pah!
He doesn't look like a monster or a ghost.
He tends more towards serial killer.
Or was it getting dark?
The glaring dark of noon.
Are you ever afraid of the dark?
Do you wear your sunglasses at night?
I see Nick Nolte's personal still is working well. And there's Mr. Nolte now.
It's just the evaporator there. That's good.
Reminder to be afraid of anyone who calls himself a mixologist.
It's your imagination.
Use it and you'll be punished.
Your imagination is the key to the creeps machine.
Neat. Can we go now?
It makes you scared.
So, in summary, kids, the best way to face your fears is to make them seem as pointless and boring as we did.
And remember that old Bobo has nothing to lose, and nobody will believe you if you tell them he's trying to kill you.
The creeps machine, blaming its unwilling victims for how it functions. Not unlike the YouTube copyright claim system, and when you think of it in those terms, it's much more frightening. This creepy entry gets a 3 out of 5.
This door hides the secret of the creeps machine.
Old Bobo's stack of torsos.
Number 155, Boy of India, Rama and His Elephant, from September 20th, 2011.
The family's day, as usual, began early that next morning.
Occasionally their day would begin in the afternoon, like when time stopped or the Earth reversed its spin.
A continuation of Cornette's bizarrely specific Boy of Random Country and His Companion Animal That's Native to Said Country series, we have Boy of India, Rama and His Elephant. It's very similar to its predecessor, Boy of Mexico, Juan and His Donkey, in that the boys go through a very normal day in their lives until the conflict is forced in so there can be an actual story attached to all of this footage. But in this short's case, they try to develop the story a little more by having the narrator be an actual character within the story, whom we never see, mind you, but was totally there when they shot all this footage, trust me.
Dumbo grew up and he got a crappy job just like everybody else. There, you happy, kids?
Not long ago, I was able to spend an interesting day there with a boy named Rama.
Who am I? Just one of many wraith-like narrators haunting the world in search of educational subjects.
Flying over the river valleys, you see mile after mile of the big farms or plantations where tea bushes are grown for their leaves.
If you look closely, you might spot a desperate Englishman sucking on those leaves.
Whenever I saw Rama, he was usually working with his young elephant, Jaimali. His father, Dondia, handled the mother elephant, named Gunda.
I made all those names up just now.
Elephant handler. On this visit, I was able to stay an extra day. So Dondia invited me to spend that day watching elephants at work.
Me, your faceless, patronizing host.
Rama's mother was walking with the younger children to the plantation store to buy food for the week.
The neighbors questioned her choice of hat. Get me, I'm Legolas. Watch me slide down the trunk. Rama, get ready to tweet this.
A mahout on a full-grown elephant sits about 9 feet above the ground.
Whereas a mahout on a full-grown cat sits only 9 inches above the ground.
One-story building. Rama rode Jaimali part of the way to the forest.
The elephant rode him the rest of the way.
We spend a good while just learning about the process of the tea farming until finally a plot point shows up. Like our last Boy and Animal short, the conflict is caused by vehicle issues. In this case, a truck stuck deep in a mud pit. This is clearly a job for a 9-year-old, and Rama grabs one of his family's helpful pachyderms, and together they and the other tea workers get the truck unstuck. And look at that! Cornette still had enough money in the budget to kill a few more minutes of the children's time by watching the elephants take a bath before the narrator finally takes off. 'Cause he was, just to reiterate, totally there this whole time.
Working elephants have to be well fed, so Rama offered to see what he could find in the forest for Gunda to eat.
Rama quickly returned with 900 pounds of hay.
Rama saw something that made this a day he would remember for a long time.
He saw Schindler's List.
Loaded with tea was... Rama told his father about the truck, and that the men...
So these morons drove their truck right into a lake. Now they want us to rescue them from their own stupidity.
He could take Gunda. When Rama gave the command to pull, Gunda gave a powerful tug.
She left her teeth on the rope and the truck sunk deeper into the mud.
The truck was moving.
There wasn't a dry eye in the house.
Not that kind of moving.
Oh.
Tea from India is sent to many other countries.
Oh, that was my plane. Well, guess I'm bunking with Rama's dad for a couple months.
A rub-down in the cool water must feel wonderful after working all day in the hot sun.
Though I must say it was awkward when Rama's dad offered me a rub-down.
Finally, Dondia ordered Gunda to get up.
Gunda gestured with his trunk as if to say, "Jam it up your curry hole, Mowgli."
Aside from the kind of creepy narrator, this is a rather calming short with some great riffs to boot, and it gets a 5 out of 5.
I was glad I had been able to spend a day with Rama and learn something about the working elephants of India.
You know, me.
Right, and who are you?
I'm just me. I go to India and hang around with kids. Me.
And why weren't you in the movie?
That's just me. You know, me.
But
Good night, everyone. Me.
As always, thank y'all so much for watching, and special thanks to all of my wonderful Patreon supporters, including Jackie Ball, Kevin Nata, and Jill Johnson. I'm sorry for the lack of actual reviews lately, but between all the YouTube issues, a very intense college semester, and overall exhaustion, it's been difficult to get these out. But my semester is finally ending in just a few days, and I'm going to be taking a break from school until January to have a relatively stress-free family vacation and Christmas season. And with some of that newly opened free time, I can finally get back to a more regular schedule with my videos. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys later.
It's time for